All right, well, hey everybody, it's Cleta the Cheetah. It's August 18th, 2025. And tonight I want to talk to you about something that I am doing with a group of directors. And I thought this would be something good for all of the Mary Kay world to do. Okay. And it's something that we did a long time ago. It is called Team Extreme. Okay. And there's a little tracking sheet, and I'm going to go over this, but I put the tracking sheet on my Facebook group page that's called Cheetah Nation. So if you're watching this and you need this sheet, you can go to Cheetah Nation. Just request to be added and make sure that you say that you're a Mary Kay Beauty Consultant if you are. Okay, if you're not, you don't need to be on there. I mean, why would you want to be on there? But anyway, call me and I'll get you on there. Okay, so I'm going to turn my video off just for 1 second before I pull up my PowerPoint. Okay, so I wanted to tell you that I'm on a group with 20 directors, and Dawn Alton Sweeney, she's a national sales director, invited me to be on it. And so we do this thing called Focus Fridays, and it's at 7 o'clock in the morning. Number one, I'm not a morning person. I mean, I get up by 7, but I don't look cute by 7, and for no means, and I certainly don't feel like just chatting on a Zoom call at 7. But all these gals are morning people. So guess what? I'm up and I'm cute by 7, even though she says makeup is optional. But anyway, I say that first thing to say sometimes success is inconvenient. And like if I had it my way, I would do the call at 8 or 9, not 7. But guess what? When you're invited to something, you do it when they're having the call. So I appreciate all of you that are on here. And so you might like, I wish she'd do this call earlier or later or whatever you wish. Thank you for just supporting the call. Okay. And you're going to get something out of it tonight. Anyway, so she decided that we are going to be accountable to her for our weekly, this is as sales directors, for our weekly activity. And it's going to be where we have to turn in our numbers for that week. And every week, each person is going to read off their numbers in front of all the other 20 people. There's top directors in there, there's new directors. And I just want to say that accountability makes people feel uncomfortable. People don't want to do it. And I will tell you, when I even first got the sheet, I'm like, I said that. Can you believe that? Bad attitude. But I know any time in my life that I have had to turn in my numbers to anybody, whether it's a national sales director or something like this, I always do better because I don't like zeros on my piece of paper. So an accountability partner, and you could do this with maybe your sales director's not doing something like this right now. You could pick a partner and y'all could just be accountable to each other. Okay, an accountability partner, a running partner. Okay, and you need to have somebody that kind of has the same goal as you, that y'all are going to run together to do this. Okay, and it just really helps you. All right, and so for my particular unit, we're going to meet a little bit before our unit Bible study, and I'm going to get their numbers from them. Okay. So I want to go over these numbers because I think whether you turn them into anybody, that's up to you. But this is like, and Dawn said, this is like ripping the band-aid off your Mary Kay business because you could be in denial about how much work you are really doing, or you could really face the facts is this is really what I did last week besides thinking about my Mary Kay business. Okay. So I just prepared a little tiny PowerPoint that I'm going to show you. And let me pull it up just to kind of go over this little sheet. Okay. So let me share my screen with you and we're just going to talk about it. And this is not new, you guys. This is something that you're like, I already know. I mean, like, this is not some new thing, but it is something that we're going to be focusing on in my unit. And I thought it might help all of us to focus on this. And I'm focusing on this myself as a sales director. This is what I am focusing on as well. Okay. So here we go. The first thing you're going to focus on, and you want to know a number, is new faces. How many new faces have you done so far this month? And then think where they target market faces. And y'all, you probably heard this in Mary Kay about target market. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I was an exception because I wasn't a target market is when you have three to five of these categories. Somebody you're facialing, like do they own a home? Have they had some higher education, higher learning? Are they married or stable in their life? Do they have a job? They have a vehicle? Are they ages like 25 to 55? Um, when I was signed up to sell Mary Kay, I only had one of these. I had a job and I had a vehicle. Oh, two. I had higher learning. Okay. But I was under the age. I was not married. Actually, I just got married and then I didn't own a home. But why do we say target market? Because if you're doing faces, let's say you're doing all Mary Kay skincare line teenagers. Okay. Like you did 30 faces and they were all under 18 years old. Your sales and your recruiting, okay, your recruiting is going to be zero because they're all under 18. None of them can even sign up, right? And your sales may not be as high because they're usually high school students, right? Um, if you're doing just a whole group of people that maybe their income is just super low and then your sales are super low, it's because that target market. So you want to have a good mix of that and kind of look at what you're doing. You know, I remember doing some parties before and I just kept having these really low sales and I kind of this was way back and I figured out that what I was is their Friday night girls night out. Nobody bought anything. They wanted facials every Friday night and they would book and I would show up and then they book again and I would show up. And finally, the third time I thought I need to get out of this little market and get into a different group of people. And so then I had these ladies that were in this thing called BPW, Business and Professional Women. I'm like, okay, I'm fixing to get some of these women that have jobs, that have some money, that already use some skincare, that may could be some great customers. And we're not leaving out anybody because you don't really know, right? When you meet people, you don't know. But it is something to think about. And you know, Mary Kay, I was looking up this today, and their target is really right now the younger women, 18 to 25, because they really want people that are, you know, to show that Mary Kay is good for a younger market. And we've got some, you know, younger women that are earning the use of their first pink Cadillac and things like that, which is great. So take this for what it is. Just kind of look if you have low sales and just see what your market is of the people that you're facing, if that makes sense. The other thing is when I started, I was a college, right out of college, and all of my faces were college students. And I started making so much more money when I got into the older people, which for me was the 40-year-olds, the old people, right? Like, isn't that funny now? Um, but I started making more money when I got out of my little college age friends to their moms and their grandmas. And I really thought, wow, okay, I need to do more of these. So that's something to think about. So on this little sheet that you're going to see, the first column is new faces for the month. And you're going to keep up with how many actual faces you do. What is a face? Someone that you actually put Mary Kay's products on their face, okay? Or you send in some samples and they maybe do it online. It can be virtual, it can be in person. Either way, okay? What is not a face? It's not a face if you just go deliver a mascara to somebody and you talk to her for a minute. She didn't experience the skincare, or you know what I'm saying, or glamour. You just gave her, that's a delivery. Okay. So you want to set up an appointment. If you set up an appointment with someone and y'all tried a bunch of things, maybe you did satin hands, satin lips, something like that, you could count that. So just kind of look at that. You're going to make more money if you actually give them a facial or they have the products to facial themselves with samples. So kind of look at that. All right. That's the first one. And you want to have a goal in each of these columns. So like, is your goal 30 faces a month? Usually that's a minimum in Mary Kay, 30 faces a month. That's one a day, or you could do, you know, 5 parties of 6 people. Is it 60 faces? According to what your end goal is, all right? Okay, the next one is your bookings. What do you have on your books for the next 7 days? What do you have on your books for the next 7 days? Do you have a goal for the bookings for the next 7 days? All right. What you want to have, we used to have this thing that we always said, and it was 5 by Friday. You wanted to make sure that before Friday was over, that you actually had 5 appointments on your books for the following week. For the following week. So on this particular one, you're gonna look and you want to keep up with this every week and say, okay, how many bookings do I have for the next week? And if you're looking at, we used to call it snow blindness. And that was in the date books when you'd open up your book and you had nothing on it. And Mary Kay Ash used to call it snow blindness because it was so white. So she said, write something down. She even told us, you guys, that when you went to your parties, we used to pass around our date book and we would say, we would like do a little square around the times that we could hold a party. And we would pass around the date book. That's what she told us to do. We pass around the date book and say, put your name in of when you want to have your second facial and invite a few friends with you. And I've got them circled in the books. And she said to like, we had a rubber band to rubber band it off. So only 2 weeks could they flip through your book and get a date. I know y'all, this is like old school training, right? Um, and then they would write it down there. And so you want to look on there and make sure you've got bookings for the next week that you're ready to go with some things on the books and not have snow blindness. Oh, what I was going to tell you, Mary Kay said. So she said, look, if you have nothing on your books at all, she goes, I don't care if you got a hair appointment, you better put that on your book. You better put a dentist. You're going to the grocery store, and it's Winn-Dixie, Mrs. Winn-Dixie, 2 o'clock. She goes, you don't want to look at that date book and look like you really have nothing going on in your whole life. So, get some things on your books. It was just kind of cute the way she would say it. Mary Kay the woman was really funny, y'all. I'm not kidding. Okay, the next thing, parties booked. So you had the bookings. How many of those are parties? Not one-on-ones. How many of those are parties? So you want to keep up with that of different parties that you have booked that your goal is five or more people. Why would you want to look at this? Just for the time factor. If you're trying to do 60 faces and you're doing one at a time, that's a lot of appointments. That's 60 appointments. But if you're doing a party with five people apiece, 10 appointments is 50 people in the month. So always, 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 if you book an appointment with one girl, ask her, say, hey, do you know someone that you could bring? I just did this on Saturday. And I said, hey, can you bring someone with you? Um, as many as you want, but at least one, and I'll give you a free eyeshadow for everyone you bring. An eyeshadow, y'all. And she was thrilled to have a free eyeshadow. And so she brought her friend. And guess what? Friends having facials, they have more fun than just individuals. And they will talk each other into buying product from you because their friend is going to say, that really looks good on you. That foundation you've been using don't look good, or whatever. They'll tell the truth to their girlfriend, right? So you want to look at this. How many parties do you have on as far as on your bookings? Then you want to keep up with how many skincare sets you're selling each month. A skincare set is a miracle set, a repair set, a Mary Kay skincare line set, a clear proof set, or a men's set. Those are our five skincare sets. And so how many are you selling? Mary Kay Ash said you want to have a goal to sell 2 skincare sets at every party. And so if you're having 3 parties a week, then a great goal would be to have 6 new skincare customers every single week. And you do that from having the parties. And if you did, y'all, what's going to happen is after a month of doing this and you added 6 skincare customers a week, that's 24 people at least, right? 24, 25 people. All those people 3 months from now are going to run out of products. And like 3 months from now, so it's August, September, October, you're going to start getting calls and they're going to go, I need to get more cleanser moisturizer. I'm out of my day cream. I need some lifting serum. I need some day defender. I need some night treatment. And all of a sudden, you're still holding parties, but now you got $200 or $300 in reorders every week because you sold something that washes down the drain every single night. Eyeshadows are great to sell. Eyeshadows last for months, sometimes years. It's the truth, right? No, mascara you can sell every 3 months, but your skincare products are the ones that are going to run out and they're going to reorder and repeat buy. So you really want to look at how many skincare sets you sell every month. The next one is interviews. Most of us, you want to build your team. So how many interviews have you done that per month or during the month? All right. And so this is someone that you've talked to about the business. It's not someone that you said, hey, Charlotte, you ever thought about selling Mary Kay? No. Okay. Well, this one interview. No. Okay. That's not it. Or it's when you actually take the time to go through and tell a little bit of facts about Mary Kay. You can do the Mrs. Cab where you talk about the money you can make. You can talk about the recognition you get in Mary Kay, the self-employment, self-improvement. C is for the cards you can earn in Mary Kay. A is for the advantages of being your own boss. And then the B is actually advantages of being self-employed, and B is being your own boss. You can use kind of that Mrs. Cab. I'm sure all of you have heard that. Or you can use the Mary Kay team building flyer is great, where it shows how it fits your life 4 different ways. But it's where you actually sit down with someone over the phone or in person and you talk to them about the business or on Zoom or something like that. Okay. And you want to see how many you want. Mary Kay said at the beginning, you get 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 interviews are going to sign up. So if you need 5 new team members this month, then you're going to want to do 25 interviews. Now later, once you're red jacket or so, you usually can get 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3. And then sometimes as you get better, okay, you can get 1 out of 2. in my mind, I get 1 out of 1. I don't. But everyone that I talk to, I'm like, surely she's going to sign up. Why wouldn't she? I go into it as she's signing up. Okay. They don't all sign up, but I have that positive expectation that they're not going to be able to tell me no. They do, but in my mind, I don't go into it saying she's probably not going to do it. I go into it saying she probably is going to do it. Okay. So, how many interviews have you had? Okay. The next one, obvious, is going to be recruits. How many did you sign up? A lot of you want to get your B this month, this year. That's two Great Start qualified team members every month. So sometimes you may want to have a goal of 4 because not every single person is going to be Great Start qualified. We wish they were, but it's not, it just doesn't always happen that way. So you want to look at how many you want to get. And one of the things that we're encouraged to do is they call a medal a month. And Mary Kay has a little thing, it's called a bronze medal, is when you sign 3 new people in a month. A silver medal is when you've signed 4 new people in a month. And a gold medal is where you have signed 5 new people in that month. Okay. And so Donald Sweeney and Kathy Halou did a thing Debbie Moore, Kathy Halou are retired nationals, and they did a thing with Donald Sweeney at seminar, and I stayed an extra day to get to go to it. And they basically challenged everybody in there to get a gold medal every single month. And Kathy Halou told about, I don't even know how many years that she did it every single month. 5 people, 5 people, 5 people. And she was one of the most successful nationals. Mary Kay challenged her to have her unit do $2 million in retail production, and she did it. She did it. And I think she did 2.1 or 2.2 or something like that. And she said, she had all these letters that she got from Mary Kay. Every time she got a gold medal, there's a letter. Congratulations for getting a gold medal. She goes, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. And so it's a matter of every month in your mind, you're going to get a gold medal. So how many people would you have to interview to get a gold medal? 25. 25 people. How are you going to find 25 people to talk to you about Mary Kay? You're going to do some parties. You're going to do those 30 faces. That's who you're going to talk to. And so what happens sometimes if you're not doing enough faces, you don't have enough people to talk to about the business. And of course, you're not going to get the team members. So it really goes back to number one is the faces, but you're going to count on this recruits. Okay. The next thing is you want to know how much you sold for the month. Your total retails, a running total for the month. You're going to do it every week. So you can just say, okay, this is what I got. And so you want to have a total that you want to hit every month. And you might think about this like, so if you want to be a star consultant, then your total needs to be selling at least $300 a week, right? Because that would be selling $1,200 in a month. And then your wholesale order would be 600, and 600 times 3 in the quarter, that makes you a Sapphire Star consultant. Okay? So you may say, hey, I want to be a Diamond Star consultant. Well, a Diamond Star consultant is someone that does 3,000 in wholesale orders. So you need to sell 6,000. So that's selling $2,000 a month, right? So you'd want to sell $500 every week. 500 times 4 weeks is $2,000. That's $1,000 order. You do that 3 times, you're a Diamond Star consultant. Okay, so you're going to decide how much you want to sell. If you're going for the National Queen's Court of Sales this year, if you look at that, that's 45,000 retail. And I should know this in my head, but they did just change the number, so it's okay. So that's selling $37.50 a month. Okay. So if you take 45,000 and divide it by 52 weeks, that's selling $865.38 a week. So why don't you just say $866 is what you want to sell every single week so that you can get that order in, which would be around 1730 every single month wholesale to be in the National Queen's Court of Sales and win the beautiful ring that they've got. Okay. But you do want to have a goal. It may not be National Court of Sales. You might just say, listen, if I could put $600 cash into our joint checking account every month, that would be so amazing. Okay. You got to decide what you want in Mary Kay so that you know what that number needs to be. Okay. The next 3 are for, excuse me just a moment. I got to. It's so exciting. I almost got the video out on the sneeze. Okay. Directors and DIQs. If you're a sales director or if you're a DIQ, You also are going to keep up with your unit or DIQs. It's going to be your DIQ team's interviews. So let me go back a minute. All these are personal, 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 personal. Okay, then when you get right here, this is for sales directors. You want to know, what is your unit doing as far as interviews? How many interviews is your whole unit doing? Okay, because if you have a goal to, let's say, your unit have 10 new team members this month, 10 new unit members, then you and your team need to be doing at least 25 interviews. Excuse me, you need to be doing at least 50 interviews, because 1 out of 5, right? So it could be a marketing call where you follow up on people. It could be a one-on-one. It could be a Zoom. It could be in person, whatever. But how many people are you and your team and your unit actually doing? So this is something you're going to keep up with. Okay, the next one for DIQs and directors is unit recruits. How many unit recruits do you have for the month? And you want to keep up with that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Recruiting, the numbers aren't where they need to be in Mary Kay. I will tell you that back in 2012, 2013, 2014, I know our unit, the goal every single month was 25 new. Every single month. And through the whatever, I don't know if it was COVID, I don't know what it was, but through something, the numbers kind of got a little bit lower and lower. And I think it's probably because, I say people get fat and happy, right? And then they don't need the money as much. But if they only knew everything Mary Kay had to give them, right? Because we have so much besides just making extra money. Positive influence, we've got the sisterhood, you're actually making people feel better about themselves. It's just a lot of things, right? So you want to keep up with that unit recruit. If you are a sales director, you want to know how many you want your team to get, your unit to get. If you're a DIQ, you already have a goal set for you, and it's 24. That's to finish. So you know how many you got to get. And especially if you're on your last month, you know exactly. Okay, so this is a unit recruiting. And then the last one is for directors and DIQs is unit size. Okay, so one of the things that we're doing is we're having to turn in our unit size, what it is, July the 1st. And we have a challenge to increase our unit size by 25 people by the end of September in 1 quarter. And then by the end of December, have increased it 50 people. And this accounts for attrition. So if you got people that terminated, that fell off, you got to get extra. So one of the things we have to turn in is our unit size and what it is afterwards, each month. All right. And so you look at your reports and look at, this is one of the things she talked about with DIQs. If I talk to Deborah right now, I can say, Deborah, how many people do you have? How many people do you need to get your 24? She would know just like that. Most sales directors really don't pop off that number because they don't focus on unit size except for when they were in DIQ. So we really want to look at that. And the new directors, a lot of new directors know their numbers because guess what? When they get 50, they get $1,000 bonus. So they're not going to get 49 and not get their 50th. $1,000 is a lot of money. So seasoned directors that have been in a minute, we need to focus on unit size. And DIQs, you have to focus on it so that you can finish, right? So these are the categories that you want to keep up with. This is a simple chart. This Team Extreme tracking sheet is on Cheetah Nation, like I said, or you can take a screenshot of it. And so what you're going to do is if you are a sales director, you might use this and put your unit members' names as they tell you what they do. And each week you'll fill it out. So you'll know what's going on with them, people that want to be accountable to you. It's a great tracking sheet for that. And then for yourself, I'm filling it out for myself. Like the first 4 lines are going to be just for myself, my name, and right outside I just put like the week. And then I'm keeping a running total. So that at the end of August, I know what I've done. I'll say, okay, this is how many interviews I did this month. And so if I'm happy or I'm sad, I'll know exactly why I did or did not get the unit size growth that I needed. Does that make sense? And so your wholesale is not on here because guess what? People order when they sell stuff. That's no big deal. People love to order. Don't y'all love to order? You just want to sell so you can order, right? So you'll make your wholesale by doing all this other stuff. So that is the actual little video, the little sheet that I've got that I wanted to share with y'all, and I want to give you a challenge. Okay. Okay. Some people may say, I would do the faces, I would do the interviews, I do all that. I just don't know anybody. I can't find anybody. I just can't see anybody. Everybody tells me no. Okay, I don't have any names to call. Okay, anybody ever said that? So there's a really great training, and I'm not going to sit here and play it on the Boss Babe call because you can find it. But it is Dawn Alton Sweeney, and she's one of my mentors and friends. And one of our assignments as sales directors, and y'all, there's like 5 top sales directors in this group. Been in a long time doing bigger numbers. But our goal, our assignment that we have to do is listen to her. She has a boot camp. So if you go to Dawn Alton Sweeney on YouTube, OTTN, there's a boot camp. And the boot camp number 2, lesson number 2 is, or week number 2, whatever, is how to get leads and referrals. Leads, like how to get names and leads. And there's 4 different ways to get them. And so it's 50-minute long video. It's actually just audio. Okay. She used to send these out in tapes. And so she got them all transferred so that you can listen to it on there. All right. And so is it audio or it's funny because I was actually listening today and I didn't look over there. So scratch that. It could be a video. It's an audio or a video, but what I do know is it's Dawn talking. So your challenge this week is to listen to that video. Okay. Listen or watch it and write down the ways to get leads so that you can start being more accountable in your Mary Kay business and work this business like a business so you can get paid like a business and meet some goals. And you want to have 2 goals, a Mary Kay goal. So that may be to be a star consultant by next month, which is September the 15th with 1,800 wholesale. It could be to be a red jacket, have 3 team members, by this month. It could be to finish up your DIQ, be a new sales director, whatever it is. Or it could be a year-long goal. But you want to have a Mary Kay goal. Then you want to have a goal for yourself and your family. Something that you're going to put the Mary Kay money in, that it's going to go to, your profits. And so you may have to rip the Band-Aid off if you have like some debt that you want to pay. What exactly do you want to pay off? How much is it? And how much money do you want to make each month to pay down that debt? Now, Mary Kay used to say, don't do it on a debt. It's not exciting. But honestly, it is exciting to pay it off all the way. So that's up to you. If that's something that's on you, paying off a debt or saving for something that you really need. Maybe it's a new dishwasher. Maybe it's a vacation. Maybe it's to send money to your college age son who needs $200 tennis shoes. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, if you decide, and Karen Riley said you need to pick a like $200 to $400 goal that you can like in the next 2 weeks get that money and pay that thing. It's going to make you so happy, and you're going to be happy. The husband's going to be happy. The kids are going to be happy. And so that's what it's all about, right? It's not just about hitting a Mary Kay goal. It's about doing something for your family and the things that are important to you, right? Okay, so we're going to stop the recording and then I'll take any questions that you might have. But again, these 2 things, the recording for Dawn and the Team Extreme sheet is on Cheetah Nation on my Facebook group page. So if you're not on there, just jump on there.